So good morning students, welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today I am going to discuss regarding the features, advantages and disadvantages in hire purchase system. Okay, so you see advantages, you can write both from the point of hire purchaser, means what advantages, what benefits the hire purchaser can get from purchasing goods in installments, or you can write from the point of view of hire vendor. That is what advantage the seller, the hire vendor can get to sell goods under hire purchase system. So first let us discuss the features of hire purchase system. What are the features? So you see, agreement to sell. Yes, hire purchase system is an agreement to sell goods. It is an agreement to sell goods. The sale completes after the payment of the last installment. It is an agreement to sell goods, which will be signed by both the parties, that is the hire purchaser and the hire vendor. Hire purchaser and the hire vendor. And the sale will be complete after the payment of the last installment by the hire purchaser to the hire vendor. So it is an agreement to sell and it must be in writing, and it must be signed by the hire purchaser and the hire buyer. Then you see possession. Possession means what? The hire purchaser, as soon as he enters the agreement to purchase goods under hire purchase system, he signs the agreement and he can possess the goods. Possess means he can take away the goods from the hire vendor. He can take away the goods, but the ownership of the goods he will get after he makes the payment of the last installment, which is said in point number 3, that the ownership of the goods of the asset will be transferred from the hire vendor to the hire purchaser after the payment of the last installment. That is said in point number 3. Then you see point number 4, mode of payment. What is the mode of payment? The mode of payment is, in case of hire purchase system, it is installments. Mode of payment is installment. It can be yearly installment, it can be half yearly installment, it can be quarterly installment, or it can be monthly installment. So the mode of payment is installment, and you know that each installment will include a portion of the cost of the goods plus interest for the period of time, for the deferred period of time, for the delay in making full payment of the price of the goods. Sorry. Then you see hire charge. What is hire charge? Hire charge is the amount of each installment. Hire charge is the amount of each installment. So it will include interest plus a portion of the cost of goods. That is hire charge. Then what is right of repossession? Repossession means what? To take back the goods. Possession means when the hire purchaser purchases goods under hire purchase agreement, he can possess the goods. He can take away the goods along with him. Repossession means what? The hire vendor can take away the goods again from the hire purchaser. When the hire purchaser could not pay any installment, any of the installments, or is in default in making payment of the installment. that time higher vendor can take away the good from the higher purchaser. So that is said in point number 6, that the right of repossession repossess the goods. Okay. Then you see the advantages. Okay, so if in the exam it comes to write down the advantages of hire purchase system, you can write both from the point of hire purchaser and from the point of hire vendor. Okay, so from the point of hire purchaser, you see immediate possession. So the hire purchaser can immediately, okay, get the goods, okay, and enjoy the good. You can enjoy the good, enjoy taking the good. Okay, so that is immediate possession. That is an advantage for the hire purchaser. Okay, he can enjoy the good immediately when he enters into the hire purchase agreement. Then you see ownership out of income. Okay, so as the hire purchaser purchases goods under hire purchase agreement, okay, he can use that asset, okay, and earn income, okay, and earn money. Okay, that money he can utilize, okay, in payment of installments and get the ownership of goods. That is said in point number 2. Okay, that as the asset is utilized by the hire purchaser, okay, when he takes the possession of the asset, okay, he can utilize that asset, okay, and earn income, okay, and with that income he can pay the installments, okay, and get the ownership of the asset. Okay, that is said in point number 2. Then you see point number 3, opportunity to return the goods. The hire purchaser has an opportunity to return the goods. Okay, now suppose a hire purchaser purchases a machine, okay, with which he produces what? Plastic, okay, plastic bags. Now he decides that he will not produce plastic bags anymore. Okay, he will start producing ropes, 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 with that, not with that machine, with another machine. Okay, so what he can do, he can return that machine. He has the, okay, opportunity to return that machine with which he was producing plastic bags, because now he is going to produce what? Rope. So rope he can produce with another machine. Yes or no? With another machine he can produce rope, right? So he will now return the, okay, or he has the opportunity to return the machine with which he was producing plastic bag, okay, and can purchase another machine, okay, with which he can produce rope. Okay, so that is said in point number 3, opportunity to return the goods. That is an advantage for the hire purchaser. Then you see point from the point of view of the hire vendor. Okay, so from the point of view of the hire vendor, you see right of lien. Now, if the hire purchaser does not make payment of any of the installments, the hire vendor has the right to lien. Okay, right of lien means to repossess the goods, because the hire purchaser has not paid installments. Okay, so the hire vendor can repossess the goods, can take back the goods from the hire purchaser. So that is an advantage for the hire vendor. Then you see opportunity to increase the turnover. Okay, the hire vendor has the opportunity to increase the turnover. How come? Because the matter of interest is included in hire purchase sale. Okay, so he can increase his turnover, okay, by selling assets under hire purchase system. Okay, he can increase his turnover. So that is an opportunity to increase. That is an opportunity to the hire vendor. Okay, an advantage to the hire vendor. Got it? because interest is included in hire purchase system. Then you see the disadvantage. The disadvantages are what? High price, because since interest is included, so the prices of goods, okay, the prices of assets goes up, okay, since interest is included, okay, so the asset becomes of high value, okay, it's high price. So that is a disadvantage for the hire purchaser. Then requirement of huge capital. The hire vendor requires, okay, to maintain huge capital, okay, to do hire purchase business, okay, because he is not going to receive, okay, cash immediately sorry, on the sale of any asset. He is not going to receive payment immediately, okay, so there is requirement of huge capital of the hire vendor, okay. Until and unless the last installment is paid, he is not going to receive the hire purchase price of the asset sold by him, okay. So it is a disadvantage for the hire vendor, requirement of huge capital. Then you see no right of ownership, okay, so the hire purchaser does not have the right of any ownership, okay, until and unless he pays the last installment. So he cannot buy or, okay, he cannot sell the asset. He cannot sell the asset until and unless the last installment is paid, because he could not get the ownership of the asset. So he cannot sell the asset. After the payment of the last installment, ownership is transferred to the hire purchaser, and the hire purchaser can now, okay, or has the right to sell the asset. So that is said in point number 3. It is a disadvantage for the hire purchaser. Okay. Then risk of bad debt. Okay, there is a risk of bad debt because the hire vendor may not receive any more, okay, may not receive any more installments, okay, from the hire purchaser. Okay, so there is a risk of bad debt, okay, because the asset, okay, the value of asset in the market may decrease, okay, the value of asset in the market may decrease, okay, so the hire purchaser who has purchased this asset at a high price from the hire vendor may refuse to pay any more installments, okay, and will try to purchase the asset, okay, from the market because of decrease in the price of the asset in the market. Okay, so there is a risk of bad debt for the hire vendor. He may not receive any more installments. Okay, so that is said in point number 4. Then point number 5, risk of financial strain on the buyer. Okay, it's a financial strain on the buyer because the buyer has to manage, okay, for the cash price of the asset as well as the amount of interest. Okay, the whole amount of hire purchase price is a burden, is a financial strain on the buyer. Okay, so that is a disadvantage to the hire purchaser. Okay, so these are the disadvantages. Okay, and these are the features and advantages from the point of view of hire purchaser, point of view of hire vendor. Okay, so I hope you have understood, okay, all the points. You try to write it by yourself. Okay, if you like my video, please subscribe to my channel, okay, for more videos. Okay, thank you for today.